you find the will to fight back against a world that wants to keep you sedated, average, and stuck in place. Join us for the tools and strategies you need to create a life of abundance, discipline, and high achievement. This is the Tactical Empire with Jeff Smith.
Welcome to another edition of the Tactical Empire. Today I'm here with Sean. What's up, man? How are you today?
Yo, I bit the hell out of my tongue yesterday. So the more I talk and move my tongue, the more it hurts. I could show everyone the hunk of skin that is out of the bottom left side of my tongue, but it's a little painful. It's a little painful, Jeff.
Slow down the aggressiveness, my man. Slow down.
I was chewing like a banshee on that chicken and wood-fired vegetables for dinner.
I bite really hard into chips, like chips and salsa, and they ram into my gums, and it like literally feels like someone stabbed me. And my wife mocks me all the time that I chew too aggressively.
Yeah, this was the worst one in a while. Like it literally paralyzed me. My wife was across the house and I just sat there like with this face and I didn't want to move. And then she finally saw, she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I bit my tongue." And then my daughter was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Not yet, not yet." Yeah. Awesome. So fun little thing I did here with a little tool called ChatGPT.
Okay.
Post a little question to it. Now, before we get into this, we're going to try and take ChatGPT's response and, support it, decline it, maybe hybrid answer it and see how it plays but I asked ChatGPT, I said, take Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps and give me a contrast, an antithesis of those 7 baby steps to help people financially. So basically what Dave Ramsey says, flip it, say it in basically the opposite way, but in a positive manner to get people to build wealth, pretty much exactly opposite of how he did. So I read through it. You haven't heard the response from ChatGPT yet. So there's a lot of good nuggets in here. Some of it plays into what we teach. Some of it, we're going to have to tweak it a little bit, but are you ready?
Yeah. I didn't even know he had seven levels. So we should teach him the 7 levels of financial freedom.
Yeah, that's right. They're way different than the baby steps are for kids in elementary school. So if you're an asshole with money and don't understand it, go learn the 7 baby steps. But after about step number 2, why don't you come talk to Jeff and I at the Tactical Empire? So, all right. So let's call these the antithesis of Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. And step number 1, we're going to embrace debt as a tool. Rather than focusing on eliminating debt entirely, strategically leverage debt as a financial tool to invest in assets that have the potential for higher returns. Yay or nay, Jeff Smith?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why?
For sure.
Why do we need to embrace debt?
Because it gives you speed. Money loves speed.
Oof.
And leverage and debt, good debt, allows you to move quickly and with agility.
Well, Ramsey would say, you're a moron. You're a moron. Debt, there's no such thing as good debt. But let's just bring it back. Hey, money loves speed. The faster you turn over the money, the more it moves, the quicker it moves, the faster you're going to get to that ever elusive for most people, financial independence, financial freedom number. I think debt can get you there faster. You just got to embrace it. So I like that. Embrace debt as a tool. Antithesis of Dave Ramsey's baby steps. Number 2, invest aggressively. Instead of prioritizing debt repayment and building an emergency fund first, allocate a significant portion of your income towards high risk, high reward investments to accelerate wealth accumulation. Yeah, I see you shaking your head a little bit there. It started off well, but it faded out towards the end, didn't it?
Yeah. You know me, I'm a big supporter of investing as you eliminate debt. And we're talking unsecured debt, bad debt, if you will. And I teach and preach to invest as you go and as you eliminate that debt. Now, the part I disagree with is the high risk portion of things. I think that Most people that are strapped with debt, it's going to take them years to get out of debt. So that's why I say you should be building your investments while you eliminate your debt. And there's ways to do that. I mean, cash flow index in focusing on increased cash flow as you invest, um, so that you can pay off more debt faster is kind of the focus you should go to. So the only thing I disagree with that, I mean, is high risk. I don't think you should be doing that, because all that's going to do is, if it blows up, it's going to put you in a more vulnerable state than you're currently in with your current bad debt.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really liked how it started, but I do think that there's a lot of assumptions behind high risk, high reward. So I'll just say, if I need to go along with the high risk, I think let's just say it's high risk based on people's unknowledgeable definition of risk. A lot of people would say real estate's risky, but once you understand, the more you understand the asset, the less risk there is. But yeah, there's definitely speculative investments that could go to zero or go to a billion. So we definitely don't want you guys to invest aggressively into those things. But to piggyback on what Jeff said, you can pay down debt and invest semi-aggressively at the same time. You just have to pick and choose which debts you're going to pay off. We are big fans of being consumer debt free. We are not fans of you paying off, fixed rate debt that's under, let's just hypothetically say 8% right now, right? Those are debts that you could carry in most cases, and then use the rest of your money to invest in something that's going to appreciate greater than 8% and actually put money in your pocket today. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, number 3. I like this one. I think our answer is going to be pretty good to this one. 3, delay saving for retirement. Rather than starting to save for retirement early, postpone retirement savings until later stages of your career to prioritize immediate lifestyle enjoyment and entrepreneurship and ventures. Yeah, it kind of faded off to the end there. I do like lifestyle priority or lifestyle enjoyment, but you got to put in the work. So there's got to be a little balance there of hard work and play. But what about that? Delay saving for retirement.
I think strategically you have to understand where your cash flow is going to come from. But like, I don't even know I have no retirement savings, like
That's
earmarked retirement. I don't know what that looks like. I'm just pushing forward, and I'm going to generate so much wealth that it's a non-issue. But you do want to understand that where your cash flow is coming from, and then what the hiccups or roadblocks or adjustments that are going to need to be made, because you do want a blended investment portfolio, if you will. Like, you want to understand strategically what that does or what that looks like. And for me, I'm fully transparent in all that I have. All that I have is real estate and life insurance, 100%. And so if you want to go conventional, what would be my retirement? It would be the pseudo annuity I can flip my life insurance kind of into.
Sure.
And so that would be my retirement fund, my long-term care plan, like my later in life enjoyment account, if you will. But then we also have strategically structured properties in our real estate portfolio. So like, do we want to pay off a few and have paid for properties that kick us a certain amount of cash flow a month? Or are we leveraged to the hilt and running up like our portfolio to gain more and more assets? Like, you structurally adjust that as you get older in life. So like, my portfolio right now is like 60-40 in debt to leverage, or the leverage ratio on it. And so debt to equity is like 60-40. But as I go forward, we're actually moving into some refinances that we're doing right now. And I'm actually looking at, with what we're doing over the next 3 years, I'm looking at plowing some money into paying off some properties, which will then flip us to like net profit of whatever, 10, 20 grand a month off the real estate portfolio, and allowing that equity to just sit there in the properties and the cash flow to come to us. And then when we're ready to flip that and start acquiring again, or whatever we're doing, depending on our position, it's good to have a balance, because once you can start paying off properties, you can draw lines of credit on those paid for properties and collateralize them. So you can hold on to the paid off real estate, and you can draw lines of credit on them to continue to buy property.
Mhm.
And so, because the banks love paid off properties as
Mhm.
collateral.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where we're going with things. And my retirement will be just continuing to restructure that as we acquire more assets, more businesses, more real estate, and more life insurance.
Yeah, I like that Jeff sounds like he's in control of the financial future, and that's what it's about. And I just hate the premise of retirement. I mean, retirement definitionally is to send out the pasture. Like, it's such bullshit. You know, Jeff and his family are about to embark on a 2 to 3 year journey of RVing across the country. They're going to gain more experiences now at the end of his 30s with his family than most people will in the last 7 years of their life in quote retirement. So I hate the word retirement. I hate the assumptions that come along with it. I think I like this thing where it said postpone retirement savings. I just like the idea of postponing putting any money towards something 40 years away. When if you took that same money and reinvested in your knowledge and skill set and something productive, like you'll be way more, you'll make up the difference over the next 10, 15, 20, 25 years. So I really like that. I got nothing else to say, man. I just don't like the premise of retirement. Nikki Haley was just quoted saying that the government rules need to change and you need to work till you're 70 plus because the system's outdated. It's like, well, the system's outdated. Now you want to implement a system of that I'm going to have to work till I'm 70. That's absolute fucking bullshit. Like, we just need to teach people. I like what Jeff said. His plan is to build so much wealth that it's a non-issue.
Well, I mean, and that's where you reframe your mindset. Like you should focus. This is why I don't like qualified plans, and I never
Yeah.
have. But like you should just focus on cash flow. Like if you acquire things that pay you on a regular basis, and then understand that like that's the path that you need to focus on, whether it's dividend returning stocks or shit we don't even talk about, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Find something that you can educate yourself on and enjoy and like that will kick you dividends or payments every month or every quarter, and then build upon that because that gives you clear direction on what you need to do, as opposed to like, I'm going to go out and build this number in the sky that I'm going to get when I'm 59 and a half years old,
Yeah.
that I'm going to hope for the best. And like, that's just gambling. Even if you go out and you get dividend returning stocks and they only pay you like $7 the quarter when you start, you're crystal clear on, I put that amount of money in and I got $7 back. So
Mhm.
now what do I need? Reverse engineer it to have a life I want. Is it $7,000? Is it $17,000? Okay, then get to work moving down that path.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. I love it. Baby step 4, antithesis of Dave Ramsey. Baby step. I think this is where ChatGPT had a few too many drinks. It went a little crazy on this one. Maximize lifestyle spending. Rather than cutting back on expenses and living frugally, prioritize maximizing your lifestyle spending to enjoy life to the fullest, even if it means delaying financial milestones like home ownership or retirement. I mean, they went out in left field on that one. I really like lifestyle. I do like lifestyle strategy, but maximizing lifestyle spending to the detriment of financial milestones. I think you got to find some sort of ebb and flow. And when the grass is coming in and you got some money coming in, you definitely have to reward yourself. We talk about this, like pausing, finding your wins. And if you do want to reward yourself, take advantage of that. But it can't be at the detriment of basics of financial
Well,
stewardship.
I'll offer a counterpoint to it, I guess.
Yeah.
One thing that came to mind when you were talking through this is I think people miss the mark on investing in themselves and like paying for experiences that can connect you with people. And so like I am very bad, admittedly, on spending money on myself to like celebrate. I don't do that
Sure.
shit at all. But I spend a lot of money on networking and connections and putting me in rooms with people. And so like, but that can often be viewed as like celebratory, right? Like I'm in the box at the Cowboys game or something with somebody and they're like, "Oh, whatever. You're spending
Yeah.
money on all this shit you don't need." But in my mind, I'm around people that are ahead of me to get in that room. And so I'm rubbing elbows, exchanging thoughts with people that are connectors and networks, and they have knowledge that is going to open me up to next level. And
Mhm.
so I don't think people are open to investing in themselves that way because they are fearful that they cannot get the ROI.
Mm,
And I think I don't like spending on lifestyle, so fuck that. But
yeah.
like this is something that I think a lot of young people and people coming up pucker at because of their unwillingness to spend money. You've been there.
Oh yeah.
Specifically, you've been there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I've coached you long enough to say you are a person that would be like, this is not justifiable as an expense.
Sure. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And so my mindset has shifted there to where it's like it with my kids being able to pay for that vacation that my parents would have had to go broke over. That providing that experience does fire me up to keep going. Right. So, I'm not a gift guy. Don't give me gifts. I'm not going to go buy the Lamborghini. But investing in those experiences outside of the masterminds and the people I'm connecting with, it does fire me up to just keep providing for my family. So I think it's nice. I think it's nice to throw that in there, just lifestyle and however you define that, however your psychology works. Let's try and hammer out these last three. Avoid budgeting rather than creating and sticking to a strict budget. Adopt a more flexible approach to spending and saving, focusing on earning more income rather than meticulously tracking expenses. Thoughts?
My wife would laugh at this if she listened to this podcast because like I bristle against anything budget related. I hate it. It feels too authoritarian to me.
Yeah.
I'm a sweep account guy and have been for years. It feels more natural to me because like it allows me to be a top line accountant. Like, okay, I want more of this, so I need to go make more money. I need to hunt more shit. And then when I sweep it out into my operating account, and like that's our family household account, when I sweep it out into our vacation account, if the money's not there that I want to be there, there's no one to blame but myself. And so then I can go back to the top and say that top line number is not big enough right now. So Jeff, what are you going to do about it? And so like that works with my mindset.
Sure.
Most people can't fuck with that. Not because they can't go produce, just because like they're more organized than me or tedious in the meticulous budgeting for their household. And I don't like that. I just move forward.
I know you think I'm a budget guy. I'm not really a budget guy. I am a tracking guy, but there's flexibility within the tracking. So I want people's eyeballs on what they're spending in a monthly basis, but I don't, like, me and my wife don't have a $375.27 on eating out every month, and you don't exceed that. Like, some months we spend more than others, and some months we're like, oh shit, we got a little crazy here, so let's just rein that in for the next 30 days or whatever. So I find a system that works for you. It's kind of like, what's the best workout? The one that you stick to consistently. That's it.
Exactly.
Like, find the strategy that works for you. Try a couple different ones, which ones you actually stick to. So number 6, use credit cards liberally. Instead of advocating for cash-only spending and avoiding credit cards, embrace credit cards for their rewards and benefits, using them liberally for everyday purchases and travel expenses. I got credit cards.
That one's hard to argue with. I use credit cards for everything. And I think if you use your debit card, you're an idiot because you're exposed to actual liability because they can't recapture that money if fraud happens on that card. So once they kind of implemented those laws, like on the recapture side of things, I never use a debit card, but I still have cash and I use cash for stuff. I mean, I enjoy cash. It's easier I wish we used more cash, but we don't use it as much anymore. And, but yeah, I use credit cards for everything. And we go on vacations and hotels and everything else through the points. So it's hard to argue.
Jeff wishes we still used gold bars. He's got a suitcase of gold bars he carries around waiting to find that merchant that'll actually do business in gold. How about that?
Yeah. Trade ammunition and rice for everything is what I barter with.
Hey, someday you're going to be right. Someday you're going to be the wealthiest man in Texas for sure. Awesome, man. Hey, the pro Ramsey guys will throw up in their mouth when I tell them that I bought a short-term rental Airbnb and put about $20,000 worth of furniture on a 0% APR credit card and just let it sit there for months while I racked up a bank account full of cash. So, got points for it. It's all good.
I teach that all. That's how people should do it. You should go borrow the down payment from someone else, friends or family, borrow the down payment, and you should go get a 0% credit card for 18 to 24 months. And you should put all the furniture on that
Yeah.
credit card. And that's how you should get your short-term rental. Sean is the short-term rental expert, so he'll teach you all about it. But that's Jeff's philosophy on how to buy a motherfucking asset with zero of your own money.
It's called buying yourself time, and other people will call that kicking the can down the road. But I can put $20,000 on a credit card, hoard the 20 grand, throw that into a life insurance policy, let the year and a half, 2 years go by. And then when it comes due, right before it hits 20% interest, pull a life insurance loan for 5%, pay off the credit card, and then slowly pay myself back. So now it's taken 2.5, 3, 4 years. But what happened during that entire time? I didn't deplete my money. Okay. Last one. Number 7, ignore emergency savings rather than prioritizing an emergency fund. Rely on your ability to generate income and access credit lines in case of unexpected financial setbacks.
This is such a weird episode. I agree with the credit line side of things. You have to have liquidity and access to cash. I mean, we use our life insurance policies to do it. I almost have zero money in savings anywhere at this point, just because we have a big checking account that we use as an operating account, and then our life insurance is the backstop for all that stuff. So I'm probably not the guy to ask, because I would advocate for a insurance policy of some kind, a savings account. But like, you also need these lines of credit and liquidity and access. Like, I also go get 20, 40, 50 grand of American Express money anytime I want to.
Yeah.
And so, like, you just need access to cash, but you definitely should have some sort of rainy day fund somewhere.
Yeah. I like this rule, but I'm going to tweak it to if it was rephrased, ignore emergency savings, how people traditionally view emergency savings, which is kind of what our answer has been to all these. It's like, yeah, well, based on traditional knowledge. But so like, what I mean by that is, like, don't just shove 3, 6, 12 months worth of money in a piece of shit bank account. That's just dead money sitting there. We want you to be a little more proactive, get more protections by putting that in a life insurance policy. When's the last time that you had an emergency expense that you couldn't just put on a credit card? Like, that's what credit cards are for. Oh, but I can't pay interest. Even 20% interest is, like we said, is just the cost of money. And if that's what you have to pay to just get through an emergency, like, be there, get it, do it, use it. But we want you to have access to other lines of credit, not just dead cash sitting in a bank. We want you to be productive. So I would, like I said in the episode on how to earn your first 100,000, like, in the same breath, I don't want you to have money, an emergency fund in the bank account, but also the person that's got access to $100,000 very quickly is in a really good position. So it's just about strategically putting that money in the right spot. And we have a plan that we believe in that has served us really well. So, Jeff, fun little episode here. Hopefully we don't get a letter from Ramsey's lawyers. This was all fun and games. And if they want to sue someone, they should sue ChatGPT, because he's the one that created these answers.
I thought you were going to say Jeff. So good. Thanks for not throwing me under the bus.
No. You and I don't need any lawsuits. We're good. All right, brother. Well, that was fun. Hopefully it put a little twist to some people's thinking in terms of financial steps to take and different ways to view different tools. And that's all it's about. It's about understanding all the tools that are available to you, so you don't get paralyzed when shit hits the fan, because it will. Things happen in all of our lives. You need access to capital. You need access to money. You need liquidity. You also need protection, but you also need to be proactive in your financial freedom journey, your goal, and don't abdicate financial responsibility. We're all about taking that back in your life. Jeff, send it to the people.
Boom. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. It's been a great week. You guys kick ass this week. Join us at the Tactical Empire community on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Shoot us a message if you have any questions. We're here to help. Have a great week.